What if a $20 AI tool could replace a $2,000 per month assistant? Not in theory, in real work. For the next 7 days, I used ChatGPT as a full replacement for a virtual assistant, handling emails, research, daily operations. Here are the measured results. The goal was simple. Can ChatGPT handle the core tasks of a small business assistant? Specifically, email drafting, research, content preparation, lead qualification, basic workflow automation. And most importantly, does it create real return on investment? Hiring a full-time virtual assistant usually costs between $1,500 and $2,500 per month. For this experiment, we used $2,000 as our benchmark. Now, compare that to ChatGPT Plus, which costs just $20 per month. That's a 100 times difference in price. But cost alone doesn't tell the whole story. If the quality of work drops, the savings don't matter. So the real question was simple. Can ChatGPT match the efficiency and quality of a human assistant? To find out, we tested both productivity and output quality across several core business tasks. Manually, this work normally takes about 2 hours every day. With ChatGPT, the process was different. We use a structured prompt template to guide the tasks. The results were generated in under 5 minutes, with only minor edits needed before final use. The outcome was clear. Total working time was reduced by around 70%. And the quality? About 90% of the outputs were usable immediately, without any revision. Normally, this type of research takes 3 to 4 hours per day when done manually. With ChatGPT, the process becomes much faster. First, we input structured questions. Then, we upload the relevant documents for analysis. Finally, we ask the model to generate an executive summary. As a result, the total research time dropped to around 45 minutes. In terms of accuracy, the results were very strong for structured topics. However, for complex interpretation or nuanced analysis, the quality was slightly lower and sometimes required human review. Reading blog outlines and social media scripts usually takes time. When done manually, the process often requires 2 to 3 hours for each piece of content. Research, structuring ideas, drafting, and editing all add up. With ChatGPT, the workflow becomes much faster. A structured draft can be generated in just 10 to 15 minutes. This gives you a solid starting point almost instantly. Editing is still necessary, but the core structure is already automated, which removes a large portion of the repetitive work. The real impact appears when ChatGPT is combined with simple automation tools. Email drafts can be prepared automatically. Lead responses can follow predefined templates, and content workflows can become fully standardized. This leads to much more consistent output across tasks and channels. However, one important point remains. ChatGPT still requires human supervision. It can significantly accelerate the process, but it does not completely eliminate the need for review and final editing. Over the course of 7 days, the results were clear. On average, ChatGPT saved between 4.5 and 6 hours per day. Over a month, that translates to roughly 100 to 120 hours saved. If we value that time at just $20 per hour, that's more than $2,000 in productivity value. And the cost of ChatGPT? $20 per month. Looking at the metrics, profit impact, 9 out of 10. Automation depth, 7 out of 10. Ease of deployment, 8 out of 10. Scalability, 9 out of 10. Cost efficiency, 10 out of 10. Overall score, 8.6 out of 10. But there's an important distinction. ChatGPT does not replace strategic thinking. It does not replace human judgment, and it cannot handle complex negotiations. What it replaces are structured, repeatable tasks, and that difference is critical. So can ChatGPT replace a $2,000 assistant? Partially, yes. For structured workflows and repetitive tasks, the ROI is obvious. But for strategic execution, no. Used correctly, AI doesn't replace people. It replaces low-leverage work. And that's where the real productivity gain happens. If you want more AI experiments with real metrics, subscribe. In the next test, can AI automate lead generation without human input?